Hello, and welcome to Twin Study After Dark. I'm your host, Sallie, joined by my co-host, Katie. We're identical twin sisters. We invite you to join us as we investigate our similarities and differences in all things life has to offer. Hi there, and welcome to Twin Study After Dark. I'm your host, Sallie.
And I'm your other host, Katie.
Okay, so we are trying our luck at video podcasting this week. And when I say this week, I mean multiple days.
Multiple times this week.
we are
not that good at
this. We're not. But this is a living tale of two people who persevered eventually.
Your cat is.
So you guys are probably going to meet Enid today because Enid joins us for every podcast and is under the couch right now.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are not staring at us on YouTube or
wherever we post
them,
yeah.
We are doing our first video podcast, and Enid is tearing up my couch right now. Like, I literally just hear him clawing away at the bottom of my couch.
Okay.
Which my children are so sad left our living room.
It's okay. I'm going to maybe throw Enid out of here in a minute.
Katie has taken my living room furniture, and we have made it the podcast.
Wait, I took it?
Okay.
Sallie repositioned her furniture into my home.
This was like
to set this up.
This was the cutest furniture that I had in my house. Okay, so it had to come here. But I will say, my boss sent me a text last night, and there's an old hotel that's having a garage sale tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
And I'm super excited to go look at some of that furniture, and we might bring in some good haunted furniture.
Nice spirit.
Some nice spirits.
Very nice.
Or you can just sage the crap out of this room.
Well, I don't want it. Those. Wait, you're not taking them to my house?
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe the podcast furniture.
I just bring like an old antique bed.
I don't want it.
Can you imagine? Like, I'm pretty sure it said they had beds, like dressers, and one chair available. And I was like,
wonder what time they're getting rid of.
What? Well, I just brought like a rusty old bed, and I was like, this is our new podcast room.
Okay, anyways, moving on.
So this might not always be our setup because my children miss this couch. But anyway, welcome to Twin Study After Dark. Again, I'm Sallie.
And I'm Katie.
You can see us now, finally.
We're listening to our feedback. It's very difficult to tell our voices apart sometimes. So if anybody needs a visual, now they'll have a visual.
And we look identical, so it's still confusing.
We should label like Katie next to my head.
We should. My mom used to make little pins for us in grade school that said S, and I'd wear it, and then you'd get a K pin.
Okay.
And she would literally take like puffy paint and like
she was so glitter and decorate them for us.
Do you remember like at Joanne Fabrics or Michael's? I think she went to Michael's.
Yeah.
They had like little wood cutouts. So for every season, she'd make new ones. I remember my favorite one was a cat for around Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
And she put an S on it. And then she even glued like the, what's it called? Not paper clip. Yeah, no, they're not. What is it called? Safety pin?
Safety pin.
On the back. And then we would wear those when we were in the same class. Like, teachers needed that to tell us apart.
That was very cute.
That was cute. That was mom
was so cute.
Above and beyond.
Yeah, she was a really good.
Because like,
she is a really good mom.
She used to be amazing.
Amazing.
That's so cute. Oh my gosh, that's like
I'd have to do that.
I have tools, and I'm like, that's like really a lot of effort for her. It's like, especially to like make us like, she made us so we liked them, so we'd wear them.
Right.
You know what I mean? She'd be like, what shape do you want?
Also, like, giving the teachers zero credit. Like, this teacher's not going to figure it out. I'm just going to put their initial on them.
My parents, like, called us the wrong name. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, every podcast we've decided we are going to start one second. Every podcast, we want to make sure that we answer some of your questions that you're sending in. And we're so thankful for everybody that's sending in questions.
Yes, we love getting questions. We love getting feedback. So just keep it coming.
Yes. I need to remember to talk slower.
Okay.
So anyway, we received. So anyway,
we received feedback on our episode on body insecurities and plastic surgery. That was a really popular episode for us, and I just
we were really excited because it got the most listens.
which
it
I was like so proud of, because I feel like it was one of our more serious episodes, but it's something that everyone can relate about.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anyway, our question that we received is, how did you get to a place where you could say confidently, I love my body? And Katie and I thought about this question all week, basically, because we recorded multiple episodes.
I wish my body knew how to work to make
Podcasts work. Magically make podcasts appear.
my hands could just know where to put things.
So first of all, I just want to say, after this, our resumes will say podcast producers, but honestly, like Adam, he's gonna make that his resume from now on. I'm not even joking. It's a whole new skill.
Yeah,
we don't have it yet.
No,
so if you have some tips,
a year.
give us like at least 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Okay. So we came up with 3 things that we thought we could talk on that kind of helped us get to a place where we both could say we love our bodies. And the first thing we came up with when we were talking about it was, ditch the people who are making comments about your body that are just not healthy for you to hear. So me and Katie have both had relationships in our life where we're surrounding ourselves with people. And honestly, even at times it's been each other. And if you can't ditch the person because they're your identical twin sister, put boundaries.
Tell them to go fuck them.
Yeah, let's say, we're twins, fucker.
No, but
seriously,
like
put boundaries up.
We kind of laughed when we were having this conversation because we've both been in scenarios where we have friends or significant others that are giving us comments about our body. But like, realistically, if you're with somebody like that, leave them.
Yeah.
Don't stay with them.
I love how every episode Katie's like, just get
leave
divorced.
Just get divorced.
So her coping mechanism is running away.
It's not.
No, it's not. It's actually not. Yeah, no, that's me. That's me.
You, yeah.
Your feet are firmly planted. So
Mine
that is
firmly planted, and yeah.
okay. So I agree with you.
You should not be with a person that's making negative comments about your body.
Yeah.
That should not come out of their mouth.
And if it's like a friend or a relative and that you don't want to leave, or you think that they're justified in some way, put up a boundary and just say, I don't appreciate your comments. Let's refrain from talking about my body.
But like, what?
But also, like,
what real friend is that?
Yeah, I know. Like, that's ridiculous.
That's so stupid.
Yeah. I wanted to say a funny story.
Oh, yeah.
And this is about one time when I left, when I received negative feedback. But I wanted to say it because this whole podcast is about trying to erase the shame we felt about certain situations. And I can guarantee, honestly, I'm going to feel like shit if this has never happened to somebody else.
What was it?
Okay, so, I have previously spoken in that episode about an ex that would make comments a lot on my body.
Yes.
Oh my god, Enid. Okay,
This cat do not understand. The cat
he's just freaking out.
It's okay. Moving on.
Okay, so I had an ex that made a lot of comments on my body. I've noticed it after the fact. But there was a deciding day. I think, honestly, he had been trying to break up with me.
You just weren't getting it?
For like months. Like I said, he was a lot older than me. And I don't think I was getting it. I think maybe that might have been happening. Which is embarrassing to admit. Anyway, one day, and remember, this was the man who looked at other girls in bathing suits in the bathroom.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So anyway, I knew he liked looking at pictures of girls in scantily clad clothing.
Mm-hmm.
So one day, while he was at work, I decided to try my luck at making a photo he'd like to see.
No.
Oh no, it wasn't like nasty. I thought it was really cute.
It was like cute, like,
but I thought it was like cute but kind of sexy.
Yeah.
And no kidding, he texted back the words. First of all, what would be a text you'd want to receive if you put in the time and effort?
A bikini.
Katie, it doesn't matter.
Let's create the visual.
No. But you can imagine what you'd want to receive would be like flame emojis.
Or like, you're so sexy.
Or like heart eyes.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding you. He said, and this was all he said, "That's weird." So, I'm not kidding you, but okay, but I don't think it was that weird.
Also, that's not weird, but that weird is a weird response.
Yeah, like what? You look at girls all the time like that.
A straight male, right?
Yeah, yes. So anyway, I'm not kidding you. That was the day I decided I need to break up with him. And honestly, maybe that's what he was trying to get me to do. Surely. But it was the last straw of just hearing, like, hey, that's weird, or you're not good enough, or you're not sexy, or he had said that I looked fat in a certain outfit, or, everything. That was the last straw. When he came home from work that day, I broke up with him, like, in a 5-minute conversation. He did not fight it, like I said.
He probably asked his female friends at work, like,
How do I get her to
what do I have to say for her to know I'm not interested anymore?
And that night, I went out with Adam, who was a friend at the time, who is now my husband.
Oh my goodness,
And we had so much fun, and it kicked off our relationship, which is another story because you should take some time
for
to
another time.
That's another story.
Time. We're not getting
My point is, if you are around someone who doesn't roll out a fucking red carpet for you and make you feel like a model or a movie star, ditch them.
Yes,
I agree with Katie on this one.
1,000% leave.
Friend or partner. You are not weird. They're not
Friends though if they're making comments. Let's be real.
Girl, I see you. It happens to the best of us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the second thing that helped us to get to a place where we love our bodies, even though that sounds like it would have backtracked, I got my ducks in a row and learned to surround myself with better people, is therapy. So after that, we all needed some therapy.
But you didn't get it.
So, oh no, you're rejoining. 1 second. We have a glitch. Katie lost us. Sorry.
I lost everybody.
Did you put yourself on sleep mode?
You know what? It's on Do Not Disturb.
Okay. Well, we're new to this.
Okay.
So, anywho, therapy. So, Katie will talk on that first.
Because I'm the one that goes to therapy.
I've gone to therapy before.
Oh yes.
But not for this issue.
Not for this. So I'm trying to think where to start with this. But
well, what is one thing your therapist said that helped you love your body? Can I have a drink of your drink? I had one and then I lost it.
Yeah.
We're unprepared.
I don't think my therapist said anything that made me love my body, but she did help me figure out how to like myself. But
I didn't expect that to be so strong. It's ginger.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was a tip your therapist gave you that helped you learn to love your body?
She didn't give me she didn't give me a tip necessarily.
Didn't she say you need to start doing things that make you feel like
right. So she did ask me. She asked me what I liked about myself, and at the time I couldn't name anything. And then
which is really
sad. But I was trying to find who I was outside of a partnership for the first time in 10 years. And so she's like, well, what do you like doing? And I was like, well, I like going to work and I like hanging out with my son. And she's like, no, but like, what do you do for yourself? And I was like, work and hang out with my son.
That's my life.
I don't have hobbies, as we've established. And then she's like, well, just think on that. And I was like, well, I guess I like doing my hair and makeup. And she's like, okay, do that. Start there. Do that every single day. No matter what, like when you wake up in the morning, do your hair and makeup. Because as of right now, that's all you like about yourself.
Yeah. And I want to say though.
Yeah.
I recently watched a TikTok and this girl was like, I was on a date and this guy asked me what my hobbies are. Does he not see my makeup on my face? That is my hobby. So makeup can be a hobby.
Well,
It
anyways,
can.
so
Lady has
I
one
started-
hobby.
I started doing it every day, and it really, day by day, I just felt so happy with myself. It really was like a form of self-expression. It made me feel like I was connected to my body. It was taking time to respect who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd been in previous relationships, not to go too far into this, where my partner didn't like me wearing makeup, or would comment on things I was wearing, and like very critical. And so I'd like become this like shell of a person.
Yeah.
And so it was like allowing me to be me again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I started with. There's a lot more that came from this magical human being that was my therapist, but that was where I started.
And I just
And it
wanna-
helped a lot.
Yeah, I just want to note too, like when Katie wasn't at her best, she went through like a time period where she went like all natural because the person she was with said that was best for her.
Yeah.
And Katie's authentic self is somebody who likes to do hair and makeup.
I'm like girly.
And oh my god, she
Yeah.
loves sparkles and glitter.
Well,
And
he didn't like when I wore leopard print.
yeah.
And I was like, I'm a big animal lover and I'm a big patterns person.
Yes.
So, like, I just can't believe that I listened to anybody who was like, I don't like when you wear this.
But you look at pictures of you from those years and you're literally in, and no shade to this because the cat,
you should wear whatever
you want. But she'd be in like a plain old navy tee with like blue jeans. And it wasn't her style. Like if you see her today, she's always decked out in something beautiful. Like Katie's really into patterns and fashion. It's why I take all of her clothing.
Yeah.
Because I don't have an eye for it. But like that's her authentic self. So just like remember who you are and go confidently in that direction.
That's like Mufasa.
Remember. So everybody go watch The Lion King.
Go watch the Lion King. I feel like we've brought it up before, but maybe we haven't.
So I'm going to do one note on therapy. So during Katie's time going to this magical therapist of a person who honestly, an angel
sent down
at the time.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to find a good therapist.
Mm-hmm.
She was also my therapist, but she didn't know it at the time. Katie would like come home and tell me everything she said.
Oh yeah.
But one thing she did say that I do recommend for anybody who's questioning if they love their body or trying to love their body is she said, every day, look in the mirror and say 3 things you like about your body. And honestly, at first, it's really hard to do. Like, I remember saying, oh, I guess I like my teeth. Oh, I like my nose. But like, if you do it consistently, like I don't have to do it anymore, but I did it consistently to a point I got to, and I was like, okay, I really do like my body. It sounds basic and like a silly practice, but no kidding, it helps.
Also, look at yourself as best you can in a full length mirror. Like, look at your whole body, because I also remember I realized there were years I didn't really look at my body. I didn't associate with it really.
Yeah, like you had a different perspective.
It was
perception.
like I just was choosing to ignore it, but really looking at it, then you start to realize like, oh, I love like that my shape is like this, and like really look at it as like an art piece.
Yeah. Kitty's an artist, if you can't.
I love bodies.
She loves a good naked boob.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so the third thing that we came up was just nurture your body to the best of your ability. Do you want to talk on that first? That's one way you nurtured your body that made it feel like
yeah. When I also, because I spent the last 3 years, really, I would say this year I'm refocusing more, but the last 3 years I was really focused on self-discovery. And again, I had lost myself. So really trying to understand who I am to be happy and what makes me happy. And so I started to go on all these solo trips. And during my solo trips, I always chose a place where there was hiking. And it really helped me to do this on my own, because it was a form of self-isolation, but it stopped me from comparing myself to everybody else. I would meditate, I would hike, I would journal. And on my hikes, I would just have so much respect for my body because I was very aware that I had mobility. Not everybody has that. I understood how strong my body was, despite what it looked like. It could do so much for me. And there's no way not to love your body once you realize and recognize what it does for you. And then I really reached a place of I was at peace knowing that I'm capable.
Yeah.
And so I love my body because it's done so much for me.
Yeah, and it can do so much.
Yeah.
And obviously every single body has limitations and every single person's body is different. So like whatever you find that your body can do that you're thankful for, try to reflect and give gratitude to that.
Yeah.
For me, for nurturing, I just had very I don't know. It was quite a long time where I don't think I nurtured my body properly. I wasn't eating right. I wasn't I honestly would
You
like
were over exercising.
Yeah.
Like 13-mile runs every day.
Yeah, I was and honestly I wasn't trying to have an eating disorder. I really think it was a symptom of other things going on in my life at that time. But when you exercise, like I remember I would run and I'd say, I'm going to run until my thoughts run out.
Yeah.
And some days that would take 13 miles. And sometimes that was for weeks on end. And it's sad because
it was numbing.
It was numbing.
Yeah.
And also I would say when you start losing weight that way, when you see results and you see the number go down on the scale, it's like a dopamine hit.
I think it's addicting.
It's like a high.
Yeah.
And so I think that gives you something to kind of put your focus towards, and it's not dealing with what you need to deal with internally. But I went through a period like that, and I think
that's very normal.
I think one way or another people go through that.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I do not keep a scale in our house anymore. I really don't try to focus on numbers anymore because every time I do, it doesn't set me up for success.
Yeah, I can focus on numbers sometimes because of that addiction of like to see something.
Yeah, but I don't.
But it's not healthy.
That's not healthy.
Exactly. So like like in my most healthy state, I just focus like, do these clothes feel good? Do I like how this feels on me?
Yeah. So anyway, after I went through several years of that, I got to a place where like I couldn't sustain it anymore. First of all, my body was like holding on to weight. Like it like reverted at one point. But also like you can't hold a job and like run a marathon every day. You can't have a relationship that's successful. I mean, maybe you can if you're like an Olympian and it is your job, but it wasn't my job to run.
I also think that this leads into one other thing I was going to say.
Yeah.
Is giving yourself grace.
Yeah.
We are all, in this society, we are all expected to do so much. When you think about everything you're expected to do, go to work, parent, keep up with your fitness, eat healthy, like find time for travel and self-care. All the things that you're trying, the shoulds, which I want to stop saying should about stuff. Like that's going to be a goal of mine. Is never. This year I'm going to try not to say I should be doing this.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to give myself grace. And I think giving yourself grace is like understanding you are doing so much.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to do more because you feel like you should.
Yeah. So I mean, essentially that's where I got to, where I slowed down because I had to, and it was really good for me. And at that point I could finally start learning to love myself, and I think having children helped me.
Yeah.
It was like what you said, when you see your body go through like pregnancy, it's almost like how I feel when I do a marathon. Like it's very empowering if you want it, if that's how you perceive it.
Choice you make.
And that was empowering to me.
Also, the kids always compliment you. Like my son is always like, "Mommy, so beautiful," and I'm like,
"That is you." They also say that you're pregnant, like,
and you're not. You're just bloated.
But okay, so anyway, that's our answers to the feedback from our previous episode. We are going to move on because this ties directly to our conversation and debate for today. So, are you ready?
Okay.
Do you think you have to love yourself in order to find the one? Because, do you know what I'm saying with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that this is a complex, because for me, my answer is different than what I understand for other people. For me, I think I need to respect myself and know myself. And I think that's loving myself to find the right person. And so, yes, I think you do need to love yourself to find the right person.
Is that why you think maybe it failed in the past? Because you didn't quite know yourself and love?
1,000%. Yeah. If I had known who I was in my past relationships, I would not have morphed and molded to be whatever that person wanted me to be.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think that your self-worth, like knowing your self-worth though, that was learned through the years too?
Well, because I used
what you
to acquire self-worth by external forces.
Oh, okay.
Like what they thought of me or what other people thought of me. But like, I don't know if it's part of growing up, being in your 30s now,
Yeah.
or being a mom, but like that is no longer the case. Nothing anybody can say to me will add to my value or subtract from my value,
Mhm.
because I know what I feel about myself.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. So I don't agree with you. I don't think that you need to love yourself or fully know yourself to find the one.
Mhm.
And I mean, it makes sense for my life. So where I'm coming from,
You got lucky.
I agree.
I got lucky because I get Adam too.
Yeah, you get Adam too. He's a sister wife. No, he's not really.
He's a great, though, uncle to my son.
Yeah.
And I very much respect him.
So my hair looks weird in this video, but it's okay. It's fine.
How do you even see what you look like?
I have
I
contacts
see
in.
myself.
You don't have your contacts in.
I don't have contacts because I'm afraid to put stuff in my eyes.
Well, you got over that when your eyes are bad enough. We have the same, I think the same prescription.
But yeah,
Twin steady,
same prescription.
same eye prescription. She could use my contacts.
Same level of blindness.
Yep. Don't see us driving at night much. That's for sure. So anyway, I think that you don't need to love yourself. I know there's all those quotes that are like, how could you possibly love someone if you don't love yourself?
I kind of
And I
agree.
agree.
I agree with them. I don't know what you're trying to debate.
So okay. I do agree with that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say that Adam and I. Okay, so to be the best version of yourself and show up healthy for a partner, you probably do need to love yourself and know yourself. I will say Adam and I had more trouble in the early parts of our relationship, probably because I didn't heal certain parts and he didn't heal certain parts.
Yeah, but you can be unhealed and still love and like know yourself and love yourself.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say for me and Adam, or like how I'd imagine anyone who's in a healthy relationship, is that met their significant other at a younger age. Which I'm saying younger, but we weren't that young. But
You were late 20s.
Late 20s. But now I'm like, that was a baby. But
Yeah.
some people like meet their high school sweetheart.
Oh, well, for instance, my ex, we met when I was 21. And that I always say I was a child bride.
Yeah.
Because I was a child.
Our parents were horrible people and they got married as high school sweethearts. So
After being high school
Yeah.
sweethearts. But like, we had no concept of what love was, because we just thought we'd meet the one when we were in high school, because they did.
and then we didn't meet the one because we weren't like pretty enough.
No.
Okay, so anyway,
Don't say that. That's not true. We didn't meet the one because
no, that's what I thought at the time.
no, right. Exactly.
No, I know that's not true. That's horrible. We love our bodies. But no, I think at the time I was just like, oh my God, nobody wants to marry me. Like, that's crazy. We were crazy. So anyway, I think that you can find the one without fully loving yourself. Personally, for me, I met Adam after the ex that kind of made me really self-conscious. And Adam was a big part of the reason I built myself up again. I won't say that he built me up, but he is really good at giving positive affirmations, and that did help. And I think it just so happened that Adam and I met, and neither of us were incredibly unhealthy, and we were on the same journey. Like, I think we both had some work to do on our individual growth.
And well, you've always been each other's cheerleaders, I feel like.
Yeah.
So, like, that, as long as you're staying positive together, even
Like, we weren't tearing each other down.
exactly. Yeah. You're not criticizing each other. You're trying to get somewhere together. But
So that's my viewpoint on it.
yeah.
I could see how you would say you have to know yourself and love yourself, because I think, honestly, with Adam, it might have been like divine intervention at that point. Like, this girl's been through enough. Let's give her a good one. Or I don't even know. But I think I didn't know myself and I didn't love myself. And there was a chance I could have ended up with somebody that would have made me worse.
Yeah.
But I met Adam and he was perfect for me.
Well, and like you guys gave each other space to grow.
Yes.
Like, and I think that's part of it is like you have to remain an individual. Although you're in a partnership, you need to have your own things.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's been years where we're better at it than others.
Yeah.
But I could see your perspective where you think you need to love yourself first because, like I said, I feel like I got lucky. But the reality is there's probably a lot more bad partnerships out there than good ones. You know,
I just feel like if you don't, and like I think the better way to explain it from my perspective is you have to know yourself.
okay.
Because if you don't know yourself, then you're going to be figuring it out and potentially fall into some dangerous situations. You know, like, so
you like give your authentic self away. Like, you don't.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
And I also speak on behalf of the fact, like, when I think about the children, our kids, I would always reiterate to my son, like, you need to like yourself before you go find somebody.
Yeah. Because you don't want to put that on somebody else.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing.
See, that's terrifying.
We haven't even talked on that. And I've been in so many relationships where my partner hates themselves. And then it's on me to try to heal them or solve this. And that should never
not
be somebody
fair.
else's responsibility.
I agree.
Yeah.
I highly agree. Like, if you are unhappy with yourself, that is not the responsibility.
You
of
should
your
not be dating if you're unhappy with yourself. You should work on yourself, figure out how to love yourself. I can't stress. I really think you need to love yourself.
Okay. So
We're not.
we just don't agree.
We just don't agree.
Because I would say from personal experience, I know I didn't know myself. I know I didn't love myself, but for whatever reason, it worked and we grew together. And although I don't think that's maybe typical, but for the people that end up like that, I did too. So I see you.
Yeah, totally.
But Adam could have been if Adam was somebody else, it wouldn't have worked out well. He's just, like I said, it was like divine intervention.
Totally.
Okay, so I wanted to end with kind of a more funny question. You ready?
What is this?
Okay. I guess it could be funny. It could go sad too, but I hope
no.
Yeah, no, but I think it'll be funny.
Funny and sad.
What is
the same?
What is the wildest thing you've done for a partner because you didn't know yourself yet, or because you were in the relationship with the wrong person?
It's done so many things.
Well, tell me one.
But I don't think they're all funny. Like, they're not funny, they're not sad. It's just kind of like, obviously, that one partner, I stopped wearing makeup. I stopped dyeing my hair because I highlight my hair.
Do you ever stop shaving?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna put it out there. We are the generation of Britney Spears. We like a clean body.
Totally. But
So that's something that, for me, I'm like always saying the least hair, the better.
yeah.
And so when
It's just preference.
For preference for us, and no shade to anyone else, but that would be something that would be against what you prefer.
Totally. And I even think about, this is, again, small little things that are just not funny really, but they're kind of ridiculous. I don't want to get slapped for this, but I don't really like football. It's like, I don't want to get slapped.
No, like, slap?
Like, slap my wrist. Like
Hey, how dare you say
dare
it? You say that.
Yeah, you're from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Oh, you should love the.
I don't like football so much that like the other day I was at the beach and there were these teenage boys throwing a football and I was like, I just don't even like the shape of it.
Oh,
The ball. Like it just I'm irked by like football in general.
I wonder if you have trauma because we grew up in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and if you don't grow up in Green Bay, you don't know what it's like to have a hometown team.
That means so much to you.
I mean, that sounds stupid because there's some people where their high school team is that, but it was the Packers for us.
And also, so I don't know what it is, but it was very important growing up. It's still very important to our father.
You've never liked football.
I've never liked it.
She never wanted to attend a game.
But I do support the Packers because so many people I care about really love them. So like it's like cheerleading for your son that's in baseball or something, you know, like I don't like baseball either, but I can be a cheerleader. So anyways,
So you've watched football for a man.
when I was married, I watched football every Sunday for 10 years, not even the Packers, entirely different team. So, like, the one team I'd be willing to watch because I support my friends and family and I love them wasn't even the team you were watching. I watched whatever they're called. Boston. What are the New England Patriots?
So, and Katie watched them every weekend, and she doesn't know what they're called.
I don't even because I would be like, I guess I'm gonna drink at the bar. Like
I mean, that's all I would do.
Could care less about this, and I will never. Oh, you know what else I used to do? I used to eat stuff that I didn't like because people would make it for me.
Why are you a child? What? That's from mom saying you have to have it on diet.
You have to eat it. Like eat it. Fill my mouth with water so I could swallow it.
For an ex?
Yeah.
Like what?
Because they would cook stuff with pineapple on it.
Ew.
Yeah.
And you couldn't just tell them you don't like it? This is sad. This isn't even funny.
I was so there's so many things. I used to wear one of my exes.
Katie has a laundry list.
I've not. This is why I was on the self-discovery.
Okay,
for the
this
past
is
3
why
years.
Katie says you need to know yourself because you need to be able to tell. See, I don't think I ever struggled to tell people as much. I mean, I would tell them if I didn't like pineapple.
I won't even drink a pineapple White Claw. That's how.
Oh, I love that one.
But so no, and then I had another ex who loved when women wore tights. I think it was a fetish of his.
Okay,
And so I just like tight. Okay, this was something that turned out in my benefit.
okay.
I realized my ass has never looked better.
You're like, thank you, next. Now I'm going to go date someone else and give him the benefit of the time.
Oh, totally. Every guy who's come after this one is like, I love that you wear those.
Oh my God. One time I dated a guy and he was like, you're the first girl I've ever been with that wears sexy underwear. And this was during college. Like my mom was buying my sexy underwear.
She loves
to buy me undies. But anyway, I just laugh at it now because all I wear is like full coverage.
Oh my gosh. You're like
Not sexy underwear now.
comfortable.
And I'm like, Adam got the worst show. You know what I mean? Out of everyone, because now I just don't care.
Yeah.
Okay, so crazy things I've
What
done.
have you done? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna have you beat by a few states and a country.
Oh, she's moved 6 times for Ben. What? Was it 6?
So okay, wait. One was after a breakup. So that's another thing. The crazy things you do after a breakup.
Oh, that's a whole
Another conversation. Well, anyway, after one breakup, I did move to China. Lost my goddamn mind. But it was fun. I will say it was fun. But during relationships, I have moved worse than China.
to Oklahoma. Where'd you move?
Oklahoma. I moved back from China to be with a man who lived in Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Oh no, but like
Just the center of the Bible Belt. It was terrifying, honestly. I did not like living in Oklahoma. The people there were super nice, But there was like a select few of people, like men in particular. I did not vibe in Oklahoma.
Yeah. No, that sounds terrible.
Yeah. So anyway, to the Oklahoma listeners, I'm sorry, I don't belong.
You tried to prove us wrong. Tell us everything good about Oklahoma.
People were really nice.
No.
Oh my
don't
God!
do Oklahoma.
No, the TikTok. There is a person who raises octopi.
Oklahoma?
Yeah, in
Oh my God.
Oklahoma.
Okay, Katie.
Real good content.
Is it Oklahoma?
Yes, Oklahoma.
Oh my goodness. So go to TikTok and find I'll have to
Post out like octopi something.
Yeah, you could probably search octopi Oklahoma, but there's a family who has an octopus because their son really likes them. They're the only family I think in Oklahoma.
There's like 2.
And their octopus had like 50 babies. We don't want to share it.
Yeah,
but go. It is
the cutest thing in the world.
Wholesome entertainment.
Yes, and that happened in Oklahoma. I will say
that's the only thing that's good.
I met really nice people in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
When I had to leave that relationship, the people I worked with were so kind. So I will say I like the people in Oklahoma.
So you didn't.
I did not personally fit in with Oklahoma. Okay, so that was crazy. I also moved to Arizona.
Yeah.
For
That wasn't as crazy. Who doesn't want to live in Arizona?
I didn't know anything about it, but I did end up loving it. So again, I ended up loving it, and I ended up meeting my husband there. So that was kind of meant to be, but crazy. Like people outwardly would be like, "This girl moves for every man."
I think that's a product of not knowing yourself, or were you just like,
I think
to be with a guy?
I think even though I say you're the hopeless romantic, I think at the time I was pretty hopelessly romantic.
Yeah.
Like I would think every person I dated had the potential to be the one.
And I feel like every person I date, I'm like, they're not.
Also, I didn't
until like, like I have to know. I honestly, I was thinking about this today. I still don't think you really know somebody until you're number 3.
That's a long time.
So patience.
That is funny though, because I tell Adam sometimes, I'm like, I feel like we didn't know each other well when we got married.
I think
again, it worked out.
I think
like
it takes till you're number 3. Yeah.
But what was I gonna say with Arizona? Shoot, I lost my train of thought.
I don't know, but did you do anything else weird for somebody because you didn't know yourself? Those weren't that weird. It was desperate, but not weird.
I don't think it was desperate. I think because like unlike you, I never had like that set career.
Oh.
I never wanted a career. I wanted a family. So I was like, my number 1 is getting a family. So the moves never were a big deal to me.
Yeah, true.
But they were a big deal to others around me.
Yeah.
What else have I done for a guy? I don't know.
It's hard to remember now, like all the things. I'm sure it will come to me, but
yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to remember. Anyway, share some of the things you've done.
Yeah.
We would love to hear them.
And share too if you think you need to love yourself to find the one or not, because
Katie wants to be proven right.
I'm gonna die on this hill.
But like, what about high school sweethearts and people that meet in college? Like, you don't fully know yourself yet. And if you say you do, that's just not true.
I'm gonna bite my tongue and not say everything I feel about that.
Okay. We're gonna get in a fight after this. But like, you see how I could be right.
But because people reach like 42 years old and oh my gosh, I now need to figure it out. And then that's when they go crazy.
Oh no, that's when they get divorced.
Yeah. So like,
I think it can be both. But I do think it is safer to know yourself. I will give you. I think it's safer to know yourself and love yourself before diving in. Mm-hmm. But if you don't have it all figured out and somebody comes along and is just so good for you, dive in. Because they come when you least expect it. And
that's true.
I know that's true because you weren't ready and you have somebody really good right now.
Yeah. And I feel like he's really good at understanding that I'm still in this process of like learning who I am.
And you're going to learn more and more even as you are together.
Yeah. And I
kind of like my point.
Number 3 will be.
Yeah. They'll grow together, like I said. But I do think that we had really low self-worth. And not everybody has that low self-worth. When I talk to some friends who have like parents who like really drilled into them, like, don't settle for a guy who like stands you up. Don't settle for a guy who,
oh my goodness,
like,
yeah.
I don't know if it had to do with, like, it wasn't that our parents didn't have that, because I remember Dad talking to me several times when I dated boyfriends, being like, telling me things. I don't know if it was because we were raised in Christian culture.
I think in this, we have to stop this soon, but like, I think that could be a whole other episode. Yeah, because I do think that some of it definitely ties in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll just give a little gist, because we gotta do this for the next episode.
Yeah.
But I do think, like, Katie and I, for whatever reason, and I know the reason, or some of the reasons, we really internally thought we were bad people.
Yeah.
For a long
We
time.
both thought we were bad people. Yeah.
And I can say to my younger self now, like, honey, you were never bad. You were a person that, like, went through stuff sometimes, but we were never bad. But I think
that, to me, is the product of Christian guilt.
what we experienced.
What we experienced, yes. And now I can say, though, because I felt like I was a bad person, I surrounded myself with bad people.
Or people that didn't treat you well.
Or didn't treat me well.
Yeah.
When I date nice guys when I was younger, I'd be like, they're too good for me. They're too nice.
Oh, yeah.
I always said, they're just too nice. I can't be with them.
Oh, when I first got together with Adam, I did have my own therapist. And I wasn't using Katie's. And I remember I'd go to therapy and I'd say, he's just so great. I mean, he's just so good. And basically, my therapist one day was saying, Sally, why do you keep saying he's so good? Like, as if you're so bad. Like, but at the time, I remember I really thought I was, like, dirty or something. And that's sad.
Yeah. I think that, again, it could be such a long conversation.
Yeah, we'll have to make it a debate
to it. Yeah, I think we'd probably land on the same space, but I do think, again, like, stepping back and I don't want to continue saying like self-isolating or self-isolation, but I don't believe a group or a congregation added to the value and like love for myself. It convinced me I was less than, and so I always say everybody's spiritual journey is their own. It's such an independent journey that when I found independence in my journey, that's when I started to love myself.
Yeah.
And not believe I was bad.
And that is not, honestly, like, that's not a bash at anybody's spiritual journey, because I know that some people find their worth.
Like support.
And and beauty. Like, everybody has their own, but we went through something similar, and my husband did as well. That's why I think we bond, part of the reason.
Yeah.
Where, for whatever reason, it was making us feel less than.
Totally.
So I would say that's another thing, like we kind of touched on before. Surround yourself with groups of people where you feel you're most authentic and you belong. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Empowered.
Supported, and you're uplifted.
Intelligent.
Yeah. And I love that women are getting better at that. Like, I think women are now at a place where we're supporting each other and uplifting each other, and I just love that.
Yeah. So anyway, I think we're gonna stop there. Sorry, we went on a tangent. This happens every episode. So if you're still listening, thank you.
Yeah. And I'm really curious to see how this video turns out, because we have no idea what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah, we don't. But if you ever wanted to like go for making a podcast, now you officially have one that's gonna be the worst one in history. So go for the dream. You're better than us.
At least for right now. We're bad people.
No, God, that's horrible. So I guess I have some work to do internally.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, that concludes this episode of Twin Study After Dark. Again, if you guys could just rate, review, and follow, and of course share with those you love or would benefit from hearing our lovely voices. One way or another. Also, please follow us on Instagram at Twin Study After Dark, as well as TikTok at Twin Study After Dark. We love you guys. Have a good weekend. Oh wait, we're dropping this on Monday. Have a good Monday.
And it just helped you on your commute to or from work. Wherever you're going.
Isn't the 8th a big day for like the eclipse? It's the second eclipse.
Yeah.
So we're almost out of this eclipse season. We love you guys. Thank you for listening.
All right. We'll talk soon.
Bye.
Hi everyone, it's Sally. We're going to leave our story there for today and pick up next week on Twin Study After Dark. If you've enjoyed our podcast today, please rate, review, and subscribe. We'll meet again next week for more twin studies. Bye.